What's up, everybody? My name is Matt Modi. I'm a content producer and betting analyst for OddsJam. In today's video, I'm going to be talking all about positive expected value in terms of sports betting, also known as positive EV, also known as plus EV. I'm going to be using those terms interchangeably, but they all mean the same thing. Positive expected value. I'm going to talk about what exactly positive EV means. I'm going to talk about why it's so important as a sports bettor, and most importantly, how you can use a tool like OddsJam to become a profitable positive expected value sports bettor. So listen in and let's get into it. So, expected value. I will try to summarize it as easy to digest as possible without throwing out any confusing numbers or formulas or data like you've probably seen on some sort of blog post. But at its core, expected value is essentially a way to measure the probability gap between a sports bettor's expectations on an outcome of an event versus a sports book's expectations on an outcome of an event. And expected value assigns an actual percentage to that probability gap. So for example, let's say I give the Sixers a 55% chance of covering in their game tonight. As you can see, I'm a Sixers fan. That's why I'm using them as an example. So I give them a 55% chance of covering. Let's say a sportsbook, DraftKings, only gives the Sixers a 50% chance of covering. So in that case, the expected value, the positive expected value, would just be 5%. It's the 5% probability gap between me as a sports bettor, my expectations on an event, versus the sportsbook, in this case DraftKings, their expectations of an event. All right, so now that we know what expected value is, right, it's just a probability gap difference between my expectations as a sports bettor versus a sportsbook's expectations. What is positive expected value? Well, all it is when you calculate that probability gap, it has a positive percent, a positive number, positive probability gap. So for that Sixers example that I gave, that would be an example of a positive expected value bet, right? Because I deem the Sixers to have a 55% chance of covering the spread. DraftKings only gave them a 50% chance based on the odds. So I'm betting on that 5% probability gap as a positive expected value bet. Conversely, let's say the Sixers' opponent is the Knicks. Me, as a sports bettor, I only give the Knicks a 45% chance of covering the spread. So if I bet on the Knicks, that would be a negative expected value bet because I think they have a 45% chance of covering, but the odds are calculated giving them a 50% chance of covering. So again, that would be a negative 5% expected value bet. So that would not be a good bet. So the goal of a sports bettor should be to only bet on positive expected value bets. Stack as many positive EV bets as you can, and that's how you can be profitable. Obviously, the higher the gap, the better. That makes it a more profitable bet, right? So let's say in the next game, I give the Sixers a 70% chance of covering. The sportsbook only gives them a 55% chance of covering. That would be 15% positive expected value. So that would be an even more profitable bet to make. But overall, as long as you as the sports bettor are constantly betting and only betting positive EV, that's how you can make money in the long run. So avoid negative expected value bets as best you can. All right, so now that we know what positive EV is and why it's so valuable, here's how you can use OddsJam to be a profitable sports bettor. So what I have up here is the OddsJam positive EV page. You can see here positive EV bets. If you are not currently a subscribed member, I cannot recommend it enough to at least sign up and get a 7-day free trial. Watch this video to learn how to be a positive EV sports bettor. Sign up for that free trial, and then you'll be begging to sign up for the year. You want to pay more money than what it costs because of how much money you're making using it. But either way, like I said, this is the OddsJam page. So here is how we calculate positive expected value. Here's how OddsJam, I should say, calculates positive expected value. So in the example of expected value, I said that we calculate the sports bettor's expectation of an event. That is what OddsJam does for you, and it calculates the OddsJam perfect line. So the OddsJam perfect line is the sharpest line out there. It's the sharpest tool out there. It gives the true line of what the market should be, and then it provides examples of when you are getting better odds on a sportsbook. So that is how positive EV is calculated. So the OddsJam perfect line, we deem it to be the true line, whatever you want to call it. We consider this to be what the actual line on a market should be. And then the positive EV page just provides examples when we are getting better odds than that. So, and then it calculates a percentage to that difference. So that is what this 14% means versus a 5%, right? The difference, the higher the difference between the OddsJam perfect line and what we're getting it on at a sportsbook gives you a higher percentage positive expected value. Obviously, the higher the better. And now let's provide a real life example of how we can use the positive EV page to actually place bets. So as I mentioned before, what we do is calculate the OddsJam perfect line, then give you examples of where a sportsbook has better odds than that. So we are placing a positive expected value bet. So for this example, looks like we have a player prop that is 14.5% positive expected value, which is pretty high. So looks like the game is the Phoenix Suns versus the Portland Trailblazers. It is tonight at 10:10 p.m. And the market is a player prop. It is Cameron Johnson over 17.5 points. So the OddsJam perfect line prices that it should be priced at minus 148. That is what the OddsJam perfect line deems the true line to be for this market. It looks like we can get this bet at plus 105 on PointsBet. So there you see the massive gap between the OddsJam perfect line and what we're getting it on PointsBet. That is why it has a 14% positive expected value. And if you click this little calculator here, it gives you more information about the bet. So the win percentage is based on the OddsJam perfect line. So the OddsJam perfect line gives us a 55% chance of winning. It looks like the odds we're getting it at are plus 105, which has a below 50% chance according to that market. So there is a probability gap, right? The 55% chance based on the OddsJam perfect line, and then the sportsbook gives that less than a 50% chance. So there's your positive probability gap right there. And then if you update your settings, it could tell you exactly how much you should wager on it based on the fraction of your bankroll. But overall, what the positive EV page does is it gives you the exact play. So this next one looks like it's another player prop. The play is on Michael Bunting over 0.5 goals. This is a hockey play between the Maple Leafs and the Sabres. For this example, the OddsJam perfect line prices this market to be at plus 126. And it looks like on a couple sports books, we can get it at plus 175. So again, there's a huge gap between what the perfect line is. So in this case, the sports bettors expectations and the sports books expectations and why it has positive expected value. So I've talked a lot about how profitable positive expected value betting can be. Well, let me show you a real life example, which is just myself. So as you can see here, this is my OddsJam homepage. Everything that you see on here is because I track all my bets. So this bet tracker here OddsJam offers is completely free. If you don't want to make an account with us, that's totally fine. You don't have to pay money. Just use this free bet tracker and it'll help you as a profitable sports bettor just from tracking your bets. So because I track my bets, I can show you exactly how profitable I've been. So my total profit using OddsJam, which was about the beginning of September when I started, is about almost 10 grand, 9,500 total. And if you scroll down here to this graph, profit by bet type, 7,500 of that 9,500 is positive EV betting. So over 90%, exactly whatever the math is. Not quite 90%. Either way, the heavy majority. So that's exactly how profitable it can be. And then another way you can help yourself as a sports bettor is to be signed up for every sports book that's available to you. So as you can see here, I'm located in Virginia. I am signed up for every sports book that is available to me in Virginia. Because I'm signed up for every sportsbook that's available, I have the highest opportunity of getting a positive EV bet, right? So the more sportsbooks you have, the more odds you have access to, which means the higher chance you get of finding a positive expected value bet. So what I want you to do is check out the links in the description of this video and sign up for every sportsbook that's legal in your state that you are not signed up for. That is how you can benefit from being a positive expected value bettor. But overall, it's incredibly profitable. As you can see here, 9,500 in total profit, almost 10% return on investment based on how much money I've bet versus how much money I've made. And that's pretty much it. So if you're ready to become a profitable sports bettor, then go to oddsjam.com, sign up for a free trial, take advantage of those 7 days, start cashing, and then like I said, you'll probably want to become a paid member, pay for the year from there. But as far as this video goes, that's all I got for you. So would love to hear your feedback. If you liked it, let me know in the comments. If you hated it, I almost want to know that feedback more so I know what to do better next time. But as far as this video goes, that's all I got for you. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel just so we can help us grow, help us help as many people cash. But that's all I got. So thanks for watching and have a good one.